What's growing, y'all? We are back with another video, and today we are talking about lighting. Now, with lighting being one of the most important components in an indoor grow, as well as, let's face it, one of the most expensive, it's very important to do your research before purchasing a grow light. So in this video, I'm going to do my best to give you some tips and things to look out for when doing the research for your grow light. We're going to talk about things like HID versus LED, what size grow light to go with for your space, as well as the details to look out for when researching the company and the light that you want to go with. Because let's face it, some of these companies make outrageous wattage and yield claims that I have no clue how they come up with. So I'm going to do my best to give you tips on things to look out for that, as well as a couple companies that I've personally used and can vouch for. And if you haven't noticed, half of my grow room is missing lighting. And that's because I have two brand new grow lights that I'm going to unbox and show you all as well. But you're going to want to stay till the end because I'm going to let you all know how someone can win this 350 watt light from a horticulture lighting group. So, enough about that. Let's talk about some lighting. So our first subject is probably one of the most highly debated subjects of recent past. And I will probably still get some pushback about it today. And that's the subject of HID versus LED. So I'm going to do my best to explain to you all a little bit about each and let you know why I believe LEDs are the way to go, especially for a home grower. So let's start with HIDs. HID stands for high intensity discharge, and they work by discharging a gas within the bulb, creating a bright and powerful light. But with this bright and powerful light, it does have its drawbacks. They create quite a bit of heat, and that's why you also see them hung high above the plant canopies. Now, let's be honest, as home growers, headspace generally isn't a luxury that we have, as well as it's going to up your HVAC costs, compensating for the heat that these lights create. Now, you also generally have to change the bulb between veg and flower because these bulbs also offer a limited spectrum. But then came along LEDs. Now, LED stands for light emitting diode. Now, not only do LEDs use electricity more efficiently, but they also run cooler, which means you can run the lights closer to your plants and will also save you a ton of money on your HVAC costs. Not only that, but LEDs also offer a wider spectrum, a wider color spectrum throughout their lights, with some lights even allowing you to control the spectrum of the light. Not only that, LEDs generally tend to last quite a bit longer than the bulbs on HID lights. And so, there are other factors and plenty of other things that go into this debate, but there are a ton of other videos that take a deep dive into this subject. So if you want to learn more, you can check out some of those videos. But I believe these factors are enough to make LED the no-brainer choice for home growers. So now that we know we want an LED, it's time to decide what size light we need for our grow space. Now, do we need a 350 like we see here on the table? Or do we need a 720 like this brand new HLG Tomahawk that we will be unboxing here very shortly? So, from my experience, if you want to maximize your grow space and you're not going to be running CO2, well, if you want to maximize your grow space, you should be running CO2, but that's another subject. But if you're not going to be running CO2, I would say you can get away with about 25 watts per square foot. Now, if you do plan on running CO2, you can run a bit more power, and I say closer to 30 watts per square foot. So that means in a 5x5 tent, you would roughly need about 550 watts to 600 watts. And if you're running CO2, you can get away with a bad boy like this Tomahawk 720. Now, I know some of the prices of these lights can be intimidating. So, what I always tell people is the general rule of thumb is you only need about half the wattage for veg that you need for flower. So, if you have enough space for a 5x5, get that 5x5. You're going to want it later. Even if you can't afford the proper light for it yet, get a 300 watt light, throw it up on one side or right in the middle, veg your plants out, and when you can save enough and you're ready to send them to flower, get a second light. Or you can flower them with the same light and not use the full space of the tent. But if you have the space, trust me, you're going to want more space once you get done with your first run. So, just to repeat it, if you want to maximize your space without CO2, 25 watts per square foot. If you are running CO2, 30 watts per square foot. So now that we know what size light to get for our grow space, let's talk about the things to look out for when deciding what exact light to go with. Now, choosing the right grow light to go with can be a little bit tricky, especially with how many companies are out there and how some of them use extremely tricky and deceitful tactics into tricking consumers into thinking they're getting something they're not. Using tactics like saying it's a 2000 watt light when in reality it is a 200 watt light, or calling something a TS 1000 when it's really a 100 watt light. Companies do this a lot. So what you want to do is go to the details. All these companies will list what the true wattage draw of their light is. And some of them will even tell you what type of driver they use. Meanwell is a very popular and reliable type of driver, but you want to pay attention to the wattage draw. Whatever that wattage draw is, if it says it only draws 200 watts, well, that 2000 watt light is only a 200 watt light. You can't draw 2000 watts of electricity and turn it into 4000 watts of lighting. That's just not how it works. So pay attention to those details. And then another detail to look at is to what type of chips they use. Samsung LM301B, I believe, is a very popular type of diode and reliable diode within grow lights. So just make sure you go to the details, read it, read some of the reviews, and just make sure that the build quality is good. If the wattage draw is true and they're using good diodes and the build quality is good, then you're pretty safe with going with one of those lights. I'm very passionate about this subject because I too have been a victim of that. Twice. Twice I bought Viper Spectra lights, and essentially they were useless. They advertised as same thing. They got me. They advertised as something that they weren't. So now, if you want my suggestions, I've personally used two grow lights that I can absolutely vouch for. One of them being Grower's Choice. I've ran that light for, I believe, almost a year now, and it has been an absolute great light for me, great build quality. And the other company is what the company that you see all these lights here from, HLG. I've been running HLG lights for a little over 3 years now, and they have been some of the best lights I have come across. Build quality, the build quality is amazing. They last, and they put out great and some strong lighting. And if you do decide to go with an HLG, I do have a discount code, Here He Grows. It will save you a few bucks on your lights. But HLG, Grower's Choice are two companies I can definitely vouch for. But like I said, no matter who you go with, just make sure you do your research and make sure you know exactly what you're getting. So this is the moment you all have been waiting for. Well, maybe y'all have been waiting for it, but I've been waiting for it. I've had these lights for a couple weeks. It's time to unbox them, get them thrown up in the grow room, and get this room ready for flower. So I'm excited to get another run underway. So let's get these lights up and check them out. All right, up first we have this HLG 320R spec. Let's check it out. See what else we got. Oh, came with some Method 7 glasses, of course. You know you need your ratchet straps, adapter, stat sheet, user manual. Ideal for full and flower spectrums. HLG 320R Spec FR with integrated reflectors. 120 volt, 320 watts. Dimensions 35 by 9.5 by 3.25. 10 pounds, 3-year warranty. Bam! Oh yeah, that's nice. Yep, that's a bright light. HLG Tomahawk 720. I believe it comes in a 650 and a 720, but of course we went with the 720 model. So let's get this thing open. Here. Yeah. Here we go. Whew. And I'm sweating my ass off, so if y'all haven't subscribed, subscribe now. I'm working here, putting these videos out for y'all. So, you know what I'm saying? Hit that subscribe button. You know you want to. Appreciate you. Much love. HLG Tomahawk 720. Okay, looks like it swings out this way. Trying to do this without breaking it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars. Fold out design. I like it. We got the reflectors. Let's see what's in this box here. Got our adapter for 220. Driver right here. Got our harnesses, some hardware, and our information. Get out of here. 120 volt, 700 watts of power. Dimensions 40.75 by 40 by 2.5. This will fit in a 4x4. Be kind of overkill, but you could do it. 20-pound weight, 5-year warranty. So it looks like it's just these 4 screws right here. A notch at the top, notch here, line those up. So it looks like it snaps. Throw this away. I think we're just gonna slap this one right here on this side. Let's plug it in and check her out. Time for the first look at the HLG Tomahawk 720. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's bright. That is bright. All right, I guess the only other thing to do is let's go hang it up and see how it looks in the grow room. We are back inside the grow room. Got my HLG Method 7 collab glasses on. Anytime I'm gonna spend a significant time in the grow room, I do put my glasses on. You only get 2 eyes. Make sure you take care of yours. So let's get this light mounted. So this light does have the adapter, so you will only need 2 ratchet straps. But me personally, for my bigger lights, I prefer to use 4 grow lights or hundreds of dollars. Ratchet straps are like $5. I'm not the greatest mathematician, but she. And then also hit it with the 320. Oh yeah, we cranking. I'm excited. Let's get the plants back in place and see what everything looks like all set up. We have the original Scorpion Diablo, Diablo X, the new Tomahawk, and an R-Spec. All right, as you can see, we have all of our lights up and running now. When this room is at full blast in flower, we will be running approximately 2,200 watts of HLG LED. I'm excited to get this run underway. We'll be sending them into flower within the next 5 days, as soon as we're done with the irrigation and stake work. But if you learned anything at all from this video, I appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button and maybe share it with someone who's thinking about growing their own. And I did not forget about this light here. This video should be going live Wednesday, September 13th. And on Wednesday, September 20th, we will be picking a winner. Check out my Instagram at HereHeGrows for the details. But anyone who is also following my YouTube here will have a second chance to enter and win. So go check out the Instagram for details and best of luck. Much love, y'all. Now go grow some shit.